So everyone chooses correctly according to the context. When we learn someone else's language, we don't apply the basic information. Similar things happen in other language or two. Now look at this. Valentina opened the door. We are talking about Valentina. What did she do? Open the door. That's why in grammar we get subject and predicate. We are talking about the subject. Valentina opened the door. Predicate. What did Valentina open? Well, she opened the door. Though grammatically you may say she is subject, opened the door is predicate. But in terms of the context, she opened is already given information. The door is the only new information. And then, in a given context, hey, what did she open? The door. She opened may not be said because it is there in the question, in the context. Valentina opened the door. We call it active voice. In Sanskrit grammatical tradition, kartari vakya means we are talking about karta. Valentina is the doer. Doer is the karta. Subject is not equivalent to karta. Karta is the doer. Doer is the karta. Valentina opened the door. She is subject alright, also the doer. Now I reverse the thing. The door was opened by Valentina. Now I am talking about the door, not Valentina. Who opened the door? Oh, it was opened by Valentina. Rarely you will get full noun, it will be pronoun. Who opened the door? It was opened by Valentina. It is the subject, but not the doer. It is the affected. So the door was opened by Valentina. The door is affected. Valentina is the doer. Grammatically we say the door is subject. Because the door agrees with the verb in terms of number. The door was opened. Was, not were. Subject is not karta. Karta is part of another system. Karta, kartukaraka. In, let us say, दरवाजा उनकी वजह से खुल गई or something, that's still karma. In terms of Sanskrit terminology, that door was opened by Valentina. In terms of English, door is subject, but not karta. It is karma. That is why passive voice in English is called कर्मणि वाक्य in Sanskrit. मेरे से ये नहीं होती, मेरे से इतना दूर चला नहीं जाता. Very peculiar. मैं चल नहीं सकता हूँ. It will be intransitive. मेरे से इतना दूर चला नहीं जाता. So passivization can take place even with intransitives in Hindi. Passivization is a very peculiar thing. Now look at this. Valentina opened the door. Open is transitive. Valentina is subject, doer. Door is affected, or goal is the object. Action starts with Valentina, goes towards the door. The reverse case, the door was opened by Valentina. Go to intransitive, the door opened. The causer of that is Valentina. In one sense, passivization is intransitivization. What is intransitive? What is intransitive? The verb refers back to the subject. It does not look towards the object. Valentina opened what? Door. The door opened. You don't say what. You look to the door. So passivization is taking you back to the subject. The door opened. It was opened by Valentina. Hey, the door opened. How? Well, it was opened by Valentina. Well, I opened it here. So that is how these things, passivization, active, passive distinction, all these things are for a purpose. When you want to talk about the doer, you use active sentence. When you want to talk about the affected, you use passive sentence. You use passive sentence also when we don't know about the actor and we don't want to talk about the identity of the doer. Oh, he was suspended. By whom? I don't know, but he was suspended. You know personally that his own father suspended him. We didn't want to say that. He doesn't want to say, my father suspended him. Here he was suspended. You ask him further, kya karoon? My father was his boss, he suspended him. I'm very unhappy about it, but what can I do? So we use passivization when we want to talk about the affected. We use passivization when we don't know the doer. We use passivization when we don't want to talk about the doer. And then there is another interesting thing. This example is from an incident. The head of the department said, oh, I admitted about 20 students this year. I admitted 20 students this year. He was a professor and head of a university department. I admitted 20 students this year. After a week, from some other university, the head of the department said, yeah, this year we admitted only 20 students. He did not say I. He said we. We means the committee. Had they said, well, this year about 20 students are admitted, there is downplaying the head's role, I am the doer, minus egoistic. When you say, I do it, that's egoism. It was done. Well, with the head all right, but it was done. There are some heads of the departments, I hired you, didn't I? He is only one of the 8 people in the selection committee. But I hired you, didn't I? That's how they get into bad relationship with their juniors. If you say, we are all hired here for this particular purpose, how can we say no? So Vice Chancellor says, please conduct the exams. One teacher says, sir, our business is mainly to teach. What is this exam? Dekho, we are all hired for the purposes for which, for the duties we are given by the Vice Chancellor. We cannot say no. So that kind of downplaying one's role is of great nature. That shows what? It's not just a communication. If your own self-skill, if you are a person who is not egoistic, you use right language. I always call it, this linguistic skill is part of self-skill. You don't overplay your role. You just play, well, as part of the system, there's nothing I can do about it. It's quite possible in the committee he played a role in selecting these juniors, but he should not be claiming it if he wants to be minus ego. Hey, what's wrong with that? What is wrong if I am egoist? Marzi aapki? That is how choice of words refers to your psychological state, your social state, all those things. Okay. Now, as I said, look at these following sentences. If I am talking about Valentina, I start with Valentina opened the door. If I want to talk about door, I start the door was opened by Valentina. Look at these sentences. Valentina did it. Who opened the door? Valentina. Valentina did it. Did it. What is did it? Opening the door. Already known in the context, Valentina is the only answer to the question, who opened the door? Similarly, who was it done by? When opened this door? Was what wrong? But how did anyone do it? Well, it was not done by me, it was done by Valentina. Then it was Valentina who opened the door. You can also say, the one who opened the door was Valentina. Same meaning, complexly structured, because you want to identify the fact that is only she, not someone else. It is Valentina who opened the door. Valentina opened the door. As for Valentina, she opened the door. See how structurally same Valentina opened the door is being said differently with a different effect. Another interesting thing. The door Valentina opened. The window I opened. Hey, who opened the doors and the windows? The door she opened, the window I opened. Come on, eh? See, that is how these things happen. Ha! I don't know. Telugu example I'll give you. Who is your brother? Your younger brother. మీ తమ్ముడు ఎవరు?